Greetings everyone, please give them all to make sure everything's set on up. One thing I realize as well is my hard drives are getting a little bit full, so I'm going to make sure that is all cleared up. Let's see, anything past 28, all that could be cleared on up. There we go, that freed up some hard drive. Gotta delete the videos I previously uploaded. Okay, now we can make sure everything's online. And looks like everything is online for the moment. Give me a moment to turn on my live chat windows. And looks like that's all good to go. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like that's all good to go. So let's go get started. This should be a pretty good replay, hopefully, allegedly. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the top right side is the yellow French, we got VES and Valdemar. Spawn on the south side is the blue Chinese, we got WOM 02 rather than 01. Dun dun dun. Either way, when it comes to map generation, looks like yellow's gold deposit spawn a little bit up front. Next to some trees there, so can help limit movement around here. Let's see, this is the French player, so Chinese Zunch News could still pose a problem, but not as bad as, say, English Longbow, to say the least. Additionally, his other two gold deposits are back here. And speaking about trees, we do have a nice line of trees here with some natural coverage as well, so he does have the deer deposits out in the open, go to the close by same direction, so maybe secondary town center since the... well, this is the French player we're looking at. Maybe we see Chamber of Commerce having built in the corner, probably not. For the Chinese player, looks like, yeah, the map generation seems a little bit worse. Gold in a similar spot, the only one gold safe back here. While the other one spawned off to the right. And all three tree deposits spawned around here. Pumbaa is in the middle of them, while we've got the deer deposit here, another deer deposit over here. And a little bit wide open here for this gold deposit. So it feels like yellow has better map generation. Now the School of Cavalry being established versus the Imperial Academy. Imperial Academy is the landmark to generate more taxes, because everybody loves taxes. School of Cavalry is of course a standard age-up landmark for the French. Imperial Academy and Bardic and the Sun have both got quite equal, though it seems like Bardic and the Sun was more common, but it seems like Imperial Academy is largely taken over. Probably because you can build the Imperial Officials here and not consume Council's production queue. Plus, you don't start out with free Imperial Official. You generally have to build one. And of course, this is going for an early Royal Knight. And Blue will immediately spot it. Will get impaled a little bit there. And this may be into, looks like double Imperial Knight. It's not common to see a scout transition to pick up some delicious venison. Looks like neither side's going for the, whatchamacallit, professional scouts, that's the term I'm looking for. Blue's going for some spearmans. We'll have to go for a Dark Age spearman. Excuse me. Royal Knight moving around. Third Royal Knight on the build queue as well. Looks like we just got spearman production for the Chinese overall, getting a mix of wood and food, no gold. As these amount of gold stockpiled up, maybe collect that up for a bunch of research, or maybe I just to collect up taxes for the rest of it and then go for an age up. It's hard for me to say exact moment, but I'm guessing research. But taxes are being collected. No hardened spearman research just yet, and he's a little bit idle, so we may want to go for that. It's dirt cheap and quick. We are seeing professional scouts for the Chinese player, so we've got a stable on the field to get a bit of stability in his life. This deer deposit may be a little bit difficult to claim with all the royal knights nearby, especially since they are age behind. And the age up, the difference between the two is quite important. You get about 4 additional bonus damage, not to mention +1 base damage and more health to work with. Oh wait, he has just gotten it. Like I said, it researches really quick, so you just blink and you miss it. And we also want to see professional scouts being or survival techniques as well. More spearmen that will be able to escort these scouts, no problem. Then maybe enough royal knights to win this fight. It's not going to be pretty though. Does get some impalement there. No spear braces. He split up his fire. No, and looks like, ooh, looks like losing a lot of free damage there. I think it would be better from the stand and fight because he's going to just save like 1. Got a lot more damage done if he would have stood and fight, honestly. Pulls back this wounded one there. Maybe I'm for chivalry. Does save this one as well. He won the fight. Let's see. Very high destroy value for blue. Don't remember seeing any royal knights went down. I'm not sure how blue got that high destroyed value. Something just seems wrong right there. How did he? I don't remember seeing 2 royal knights, or even 1 going down, let alone 2. And so it'd be basically 2.5. Now let's count damage dealt now as destroyed. Maybe need to take a close like that. Maybe there was a recent patch that made this calculate damage dealt as well. Guess we'll find out soon enough. These royal knights should really not connect the spearman. Does pull back in time. He is getting shivered on the way. This will pay for itself. I am curious, did they change it so now damage dealt does affect the destroyed value? Which would be interesting. And when it comes to the healing, that also would be not a great idea. Yep, very good fight by Yellow, that's for sure. And this chivalry is coming in nice. And there's some good health regen there. And Yellow got a bit more destroyed value. Pumbaa there. Pumbaa does go down. I'm a little bit confused. When did Yellow get more destroyed value? Is bug when you replace your own building counts as... that's may have what happened. Because I looked away, like, there's just... This is counting up, and I did not see what on earth made it count up. Thought so. Because I'm wondering... Because also in the middle of all that, Yellow somehow got 50 more destroyed value, suggesting maybe something got cancelled and... Yeah. Something may have been there. Yep, just me noticing things. Oh, Scout is down, not big surprise. We do have now Bloomery being researched. Increase some damage by 1 from melee. Let's see, how will that change the visible map? Those increase the damage from 28 to 29 versus the Royal Knights. A little bit difficult to do that sort of math right here, but one of these scouts do go down. A couple horsemen here getting hit. And you can see the chivalry is providing very good value. It's definitely paid for itself, and I think double more than it paid for itself right now. Bardican of the Sun, this is one of the Song Dynasty. Outpost trying to be established there. Pumbaa still has 1,800 food left inside of him. And the village run away. That's probably a good idea. There's too many spearmen here for the Royal Knights to intercept it. There's a good number there. It's going to be messy either way. Archers, that's exactly what he needs right here. A lot of times I try to judge the how fights are going based on the destroyed value or how the game's going. And of course, there's always these bugs where it's like, all of a sudden, now stuff is adding damage, but you didn't really do that before. Good impalement there, but some spear race as well. Archer's engagement, doesn't look like Yellow's taking too much damage. Does lose one row knight there. Almost lost a second one. But Scout is down, not big surprise. Managed to pull back that knight as well. Guess the +1 melee damage was not really necessary by blue. Then again, it could be also meant for the horsemen, because when horsemen get the +1 damage, they have 10, which means they can kill off villagers in 5 hits rather than 6. So that's probably not meant for the spearmen, but probably meant for the horsemen, now think about it. Chivalry providing excellent health regen here. Not too quickly, but it will pay for itself. It's already paid for itself, so it's all cream of the crop. That doesn't make sense unless that saying doesn't make sense here either way. Icing on the cake, that's the term I'm looking for. Very different. Which apparently cake icings actually has less calories than Nutella. So if you try to determine what's healthier to eat, cake icing or Nutella, to put on pieces of bread, it is actually cake icing. Somehow. Cake icing has less calories. That's what I'm basing it around. We do have Spearman charging way forward. Oh, I can go ahead and shrink down the mini-map size now. This is past the initial eco phase. I keep on forgetting to shrink that. Horseman's pushing way forward. Got a good number of villagers here. Not enough villagers to get inside of here. +1 range damage as well. So these arrows are doing 6 damage, 3 armor, so 3 damage apiece. Not great, but not bad. I've seen worse. Right now, the Chinese player's about ready to age on up, has enough resources. The French player is aging up, going for the guild hall back here. Imperial Palace here, which is less common of the 2 age ups, but does give you a lighthouse effect. I wonder if it does Imperial Palace allow you to see through like terrain like forests. Is it true vision or true line of sight? Guess we'll find out soon enough. As part of the sun, the Imperial Palace was actually deployed back here. So it looks like just one to age up. It's hard to say if one can see through forest, but seeing the shrubbery there appears to be visible. Looks like it does see through it. Never really thought about that. Oops, Spearman's now engaging over here. If he was going to build it back here, I'm sort of surprised he didn't try to... What's it called? Go for the astronomical clock tower. Maybe he wanted a backline vision. Who knows? It is nice to have that vision regardless, because it does allow him to see left and right quite a bit for the Imperial Knights, or the Royal Knights, so that's probably why he went for that. Either way, we do now have the horsemen pushing the way forward. They'll just once again get inside the outpost. A number of archers there could be picked off. Royal Knights here, Spearman's here, who have their torches out. Blue could try engaging, besides a fall back. Yellow does have higher army value in the field. It does have veteran Royal Knights, and veteran Spear and veteran Horsemen still being researched, so probably a good idea to pull back. Veteran Archers has been completed as well. Guild Hall, of course, is collecting the default food. French players sort of scream the bottom barrel of resources. The Chinese player could actually advance to Yuan Dynasty very soon. Unless he's going straight for age 4. Yuan Dynasty generally doesn't make any sense. Most players like to prolong Song Dynasty to get more villagers out. But it just screams at me Yuan Dynasty. But It also could mean age 4. Chinese players is going for a handful of lancers and crossbowmen. That scout is down, not big surprise. Up north, outpost is gold. So this other safe gold deposit. He has spent some of the gold, so maybe he's just trying to age up, maybe trying to get a mix of everything, and not eyeing to really be aggressive military, but also trying perhaps eyeing age up while not skipping out military. Hard to say. Do now have a monk on the field trying to collect some relics, and those scouts or horsemen took some bit of damage there. Going back to a monk could heal them up and pay for itself as that way. Spearman on a good intercept flank. Does get hit by a single crossbowman. And looks like Blues managed to steal some of the delicious venison here. Monk will be picking up this relic. Horsemen take opportunity. They could try picking off these 2 Royal Knights. Lancers taking out that Royal Knight. The Knights can't necessarily run away, nor they can stand and fight in this situation. So it looks like Blue managed to claim all the venison that was around here. This venison deposit sees 6 pieces on the field. Monk may want to try for a Woolo right now, and actually let him push towards the Monk, pop the Woolo, then have the Royal Knights engage. Either he A, stands and fight and gets converted, or B, falls back and get hit a lot for free. But decides to engage the horseman on the flank. Archer's still pretty far behind. Royal Knights needs to start punch through the horseman. Archer is now engaging, hits the horseman there, not a great target there, now being tasked to the spearman. You can pop out the monk here to go for a Woolo. Lowski will not. A power play could have been done there. If he would have managed to get the monk out and start doing Woolo and have him run into it, then he will force him either try to quickly take him out or stand and fight. And seeing these are all not hyper lethal units here, it could have got a nice conversion there. Don't think he could have killed him off quickly enough. But either way, the safe call was probably the correct call. Yellow's claimed 2 relics and picked up 2 more. Leaving 1 last relic, this one here. Archers and Royal Knights still the composition of the French. Chinese players starting to mix in more crossbowmans. Still has a good number of spearmen. Handful of horsemen hit the archers. Lancers just be a good bulky front line. Would be generally just great in this situation. In actuality, he has 8 of them versus 14. Army value is similar. I guess the large number of archers doesn't really have a good counterpart. Royal Knights find a good opportunity here. Takes out some horsemen. Lancers are outnumbered. Versus armies trying to engage. May want to try to ring around the roads here through here. Melee 2 damage now being researched by the Chinese player. We have the Canted Saddles and the Military Academy. Howdy. Royal Knights being tasked up here. Handful of walls being established. There'll be open a drink nearby. My apologies if you hear it. Monk claiming up the sacred site here. A couple lancers here on intercept. Attack move right there. Lancers will likely go down here. Monk gets a drive-by healing. And right now, Yellow's claimed 2, or has claimed 1 sacred site. Looks like the Royal Knights can pause the reverting, even though the monk's not there. Oh, here, the second site's also being captured. Got exotic doggo, demands head pats. He also wants a stick. Monk, go ahead and throw the stick. That's how you tame the wolves, by throwing them a stick. Let's see. Oh, there was a keep there, must have been cancelled one point in time. I don't think blue destroyed that, but I'm also not sure where yellow had the stone went. Maybe there's a keep somewhere else. They do have the secondary towns there, which would consume some stone. Ah, he must have rebuilt it over here. Central Sacred Site has been decaptured. Great gatehouse is being deployed in the field. A very fine gatehouse next to this gold deposit. Yellow's going to be trying to secure this large one, while this other one is untampered. This guy's trying his best. Red Palace now being established. Red Palace is being established right here where that keep was cancelled, making an excellent defensive landmark. The very fine gatehouse fires away. Those can get on top of the walls to escape. Crossbone can also get up there. He could have gone on top of these little points there. This should be traversable ground right there. That would have been a great spot for the crossbowman. Spearman crossbowman trying to engage the Royal Knights now. Villagers backing on off. The great gatehouse emplacements are doing great work. Of course, tracking is not perfect. Royal Knights are backing on off now. He also has a slightly higher value in the field, but both players now age 4. Got Gambersons, Elite Royal Knights, Elite Archers, and level 2 range armor with Tideward. Those are right now going for Elite Crossbowmen, nothing else. I'll just upgrade these Crossbowmen, going for Elite Horsemen now. Crossbowman, he may not be eyeing Incendiaries, just probably just trying to improve the current quality of Crossbowman in the field, which is not a bad idea. Chinese tend to like to go for their hand cannoneers, because after all, they're one of the best hand cannoneers in the game. Able to get the 5.5 range is always very nice. They really did a lot of changes to the new additions to AoE 4. I like AoE 3, but I think it's terribly balanced. Yeah, there's a lot of balancing issues that players complain about Age of Empires 3, and since they're no longer supporting the game, it's basically permanent like that. Not to mention they promised DLC, and then they, in the same breath, they're saying, "Oh, we're canceling any further projects," and as well as balance patches. They did it all at once as well. Okay, some damage there. We got a good number of horsemen. Most of the Chinese players going for crossbowman horsemen, was a good counterpart to the Royal Knight and archers. Though the French players are mixing some arbaletiers now, which horsemen will still be good against them. Horsemen, of course, able to move faster, able to get some damage on these forces. Yep, Age of Empires 4 is also probably more comparable to Age of Empires 2. Same time frame, similar concepts, but I think overall Age of Empires 4 does the counter system and a lot of things better than Age of Empires 2. But I understand why people like Age of Empires 2. After all, it's the original. It's more the original version than Age of Empires 1. Yeah. We do have, looks like biology got cancelled, going for incendiaries for the Chinese player. The French players, a little bit scraped the bottom of the barrel, has a very small amount of resources. Let's see, Guildhall has 700 food inside of it. Right now we do have Elysium Centers being researched as well as elite Arloteers. Of course, we got the Red Palace here. Garrison the Red Palace is probably a good idea. Got a French cannon now deployed in the field. Last gold deposit being cleaned on up. We do have now the emplacements firing away. But really dislike that one guy in particular. There is an opening there, so the Chinese player is going to advance. Got a good number of Arbaletiers and archers here. Horsemen still be a bit of a problem, but the Lancers at least have a counter to them. Biology is being researched by the Chinese player now. So the Horsemen draw a lot of fire there, saving the Lancers from any sort of anti-armor damage. Crossbone advancing, gets distracted by some of the structures, like that market. Of course, the Chinese do not like the market economy. We do now have that Lancer going on down. I don't think Blue will win this game right now. Got the town center still here, and only go down to ranged forces, which is not very good for all these garrisons. And Yellow has the TCML forces. I hear some passives point of view, giving these guys +5 range armor, up to 8 range armor. While they absorb a lot of extra damage. I mentioned the town center up here also has Arbals in place to help him out with defense. That alone can start picking off some units, probably a little bit slowly. On the left side, we got these nice hits of fire there, Spearmen in pursuit. French player has plenty of gold on the, not gold, forms in the field. Very different thing. Be capturing the sacred site now. It's probably time we switch over to this. The Chinese player does have enough stone for a keep and plenty of gold as well. Maybe eyeing for Dynasty. Yuan Dynasty could allow him to get out the Fire Lancers, of course. You now have the Incendiary Arrows research as well as the Elite Horseman upgrade. Getting some stone walls out. That's this gold being claimed. And Blue's trying to establish a keep here, so is Yellow. Yellow does have a fortified spring gold outpost here. Chinese not max population cap, neither is Yellow. They have similar army value in the field. Going for a bombard now. Silk bowstring being researched by the French player now, so just me, he's going to maintain arch production. There's also mixing some horsemans as well. Skipping out on the Royal Knights, just trying to go for trash units for a time frame. Yellow's trying to establish a keep now. Or not yellow, blue. Got some, or a spear brace there, looks like. Crossbow firing away. Some of those going down. Doesn't get a keep there. Pair of French cannon now firing away. Horseman push away forward. Got 3 French cannon there. Keep taking a bit of a beating. French horsemen push way forward. The keep's now on fire. Villagers evacuate to get the repairs going. Horsemen warding away the French cannon among all the other backline forces. Yellow's frontline forces have disintegrated. Horsemen going straight for the cannon and not being able to move forward, so they're getting stuck on the ranged models. Horseman takes some fire down. Now we've got one of the bombards and one of the cannons gone down. Military academy now being researched by Blue. Yellow's villagers do manage to fall back in time. The French player is actually getting pretty low in gold. Blue right now is actually low wood and food, and some gold in reserve. He has his own bombard in the field. Possibly. However, I wonder how the guild hall is doing. After this fight, let's take a look in the guild hall. Bombard is taking a couple of hits there from the cannons now. Force pushing forward. Takes out the bombard there. Horseman engaging the horseman there. Guild hall right now has, it looks like he just recently withdrew food there. Can't say how much. Right now it's 120 inside. May want to go ahead and pass this to gold. There's not too much gold left on the map. This is being secured by Blue, and this one is somewhat secure by Yellow, but one spring gold in place is not a whole lot. French player has plenty of food and wood to pull out archers and horsemen, and French horsemen with the royal biology, royal bloodline research makes them very durable. And he'll have a pair of cannons for structures. All he needs to do is escort the cannons and let them do all the work. Against structures at least. Blue's now going for a big round of walls. Keep being repaired on up. And Blue's army's not retaliating upon this. And Blue's gonna be running out of stone relatively quickly. The French player's low or is finally going for hardened spearman, going for elite hardened tactics. Was trying to go for a spearman transition. Yellow has plenty of gold and decent food reserve as well. I am curious. Some of these villagers getting hit there. Gate has been completed, but the walls themselves are exposed. Takes out that wall civilian, of course, one adjacent to it. That villager will go down. Crossbow engaging the horseman. Local doggo gets picked off. We do have pyrotechnics now being researched. Horseman does find the horseman. I believe the horseman will win. Yellow does also still has 4 relics, and so right now he has a passive, let's just call it an even 300, though Blue does have every single sacred site. And going for hand cannoneers, or at least the upgrades, got the serpent gunpowder and the pyrotechnic. And 20 of them queued on up. Horseman straightforward. 1 spring gold, 1 arbalist in placement, no boiling oil. Keep now set ablaze. Horseman, pursuing the horseman. Got a number of archers and crossbowmen here. Keep does go down. A number of villagers here, but Yellow has a little bit too many villagers, so this is an expendable number of villagers. Though the bags are filled quite nicely with some gold, so that's going to be a bit of a permanent loss of gold there. Horseman now pushing over here. More of the French horsemen being pulled in the field. And he is going for a large number of spearmen. Right now they're just veteran spearmen. Elite spearmen on the way. Elite architects, of course, been researched. And has all the blacksmith research there. Blue's gotten all the research bar and all the melee armor. Hand Cannoneers push right forward. Of course, Silk Bowstring Archers will be good against the Hand Cannoneers. They still will be able to outrange them, get some bonus upon them. So I think the Archer transition for the French player is good. Still the Song Dynasty. Yun Dynasty would improve his unit's movement speed and doesn't necessarily need too many more villagers, so it could start eyeing for the Yuan or Ming Dynasty. Though Ming Dynasty would be very expensive, and Yun Dynasty also relatively expensive as well. Has not enough resources for either. Crossbow and the Hand Cannoneers straight forward. Got one cannon back here. Yellow's only golden come from relics. Oh, not right now. Did manage to secure that 4,000 gold deposit. So it has a bit of income at the moment. Though I am curious about the guild hall again. If it's tasked to gold. I think right now he should just have it tasked to gold. That's the monastery. And it is tasked to gold. Has 300 gold inside, so not too much at the moment. And Yellow's now starting to secure up this gold deposit there. Still 7,300 gold there. And Blue still has his 4,000 gold in the Sphere of Influence as well. There's some stone walls here. He could also have some treasures. He basically has the entire path secured. That appears to be not traversable. Speaking about possible trade. Lightweight construction beams now being researched, or lightweight beams, which also reduces construction time. Basic wooden walls there. Arctic in the Sun could be upgraded. Of course, we got the Great Gatehouse. It's a very fine gatehouse. Horseman does manage to sneak on around. None of it goes for the cannon. And it looks like Yellow has killed from walls here. He'd be able to cross the T, which is actually a naval term, but it will do here. Cannon fires away. Won't be doing much here. Horseman's being brought in. Hand Cannoneer gets on top of the wall there. And the Chinese player could get on top of the wall. He does, of course, the Great Gatehouse improve their capabilities up there. But of course, Yellow backed away off of all of this. Blue's trying to fall back and get on top of wall segments, which will not save him versus Spearmen. He does have a substantial force of Hand Cannoneers. 43 Hand Cannoneers right here. And with this choke point here, it'll be a bit difficult for Yellow to push on through. Archers and Horsemen would still be a good call against all the Hand Cannoneers. Plays a cost-effective game. Use trash units to deal with the high-expense gold units. So steps back. Good micro there by Blue right now. More horse being brought in, but a bit missed rally there. Does cause the nested bees in placement here. Yeah, they can climb up the side of destroyed walls. That's something they added in Age of Empires 4. That was one of the release features. Most of the French has mixed in some of his own Hand Cannoneers, but I don't think it'd be particularly useful at the moment. It would be already inferior to the Chinese ones with the pyrotechnic. I think you should focus on being cost-effective for the archers time frame. Horseman does take out the royal cannons. And of course, Yellow needs to take time to reinforce. He could have stuck back here, get units on top of the wall segments to increase range defense and range. Got an outpost here, primarily for spotting, and has decaptured this both these sites there. And is making good headway into this gold. Guild Hall has 1400. Got some initial traders by yellow, or by blue. And Cannoneers firing away. Yep, Blue's doing a great job of microing this force. Yellow's fasting a junk force. Is a pretty good balance between the two. We got the expendable cannon fodder versus the elite troops. Market does go down there, which is irrelevant since he already has other markets. Chinese horsemen trying to go towards the bar, the cannon, and does finish it off there. French hand cannoneers go on top of all segments, start utilizing the high ground advantage for their advantage. Some more spearmen there to disrupt the horsemen, very nice. Going for some more archers. Horsemen and spearmen starting to fall back through the breach. Right now, yellow has an army value of a lot less than blue, mostly because of high quality hand cannoneers. Like I mentioned, the French player's not maxed out at the moment, or just did. Got another keep here. Heard some spear braces there, called the French spearmen. And cannoneers firing away. He's making use of the high ground now. Let's see, right now the high ground advantage does provide 25% range resist and 50% siege resist, as well as +1 range. I remember originally it was like 75%. I couldn't... something quite high. Oh, we got some battering rams here to batter down the castle. The French villagers are rioting about that. Horsemen trying to stop them. And looks like this keep will be going on down. And the keep has been destroyed. Over here, we do now have spearmen and hand cannoneers pushing forward. And SP does get a bit of a splash hit. The French player right now has 7,000 food, 4,000 gold, a significant reserve. The Chinese player, while feels like he's in some pretty good position with his army composition, is scribbling above the barrel for resources. Takes the horseman no problem with this nice little choke point. Of course, the French hand cannoneers do not stand a chance versus the French hand cannoneers. A single arbalist emplacement firing away from the flank. Yellow could have skimped out, go for some stone walls here, put some stone towers. Stone towers are more cost effective than keeps, just difficult to deploy. And usually never really option, and not to mention they have limited fire angle. Do the French stone towers get affected by the red palace or arbalist emplacement? All keeps and towers, or town centers. Guess not. Probably should or shouldn't. Not sure. What do you think? Should the red palace provide stone towers with the arbalist emplacement? But make sure it gives limited arc like the stone tower itself. This one to fall back through the breach. Battering ram battering down the stable. Imperial official supervising the mining camp has only level 1 mining upgrade. When you get the final upgrade, it does improve gold drop off, which is significantly better than mining speed. The course itself is quite expensive. It's one reason why I like a lot of Age of Empires games where they make the economic upgrades cost the 2 other resources, and I do honestly believe that system should be applied for gold plush upgrades, where it provides, well, the other. We got the Spirit Way being put on the field, so it's going to skip Yuan Dynasty, go straight to Ming Dynasty. You can always go to Yuan Dynasty later on to get the effects of Yuan Dynasty permanent, which would increase the movement speed of all its units by, was it 10 or 15%? Spirit Way increases, was it health or damage of units? I can't remember. Exotic Doggo fighting some of these villagers, double layering the stone walls. Ming Dynasty is now available, which also means Grenadiers as well. It provides plus 15% health, which is always very nice to have. Now his horseman has 259 health versus the French horsemen, which have 243. So right now, the Chinese horsemen are better. Or in the fact they actually lack the melee armor, which is going for melee armor now. Chinese bombards now engaging the keep. He's getting a tower to spot. Bombards in range. Luckily has a bit of extra health, not from the astronomical clock tower. Let's see, any Grenadiers in build queue? No, we do not. It's probably a good idea not to go for them. They do receive bonus damage from archers, since I believe they're classified as light gunpowder units, not heavy gunpowder units. The only heavy gunpowder unit I think in the game right now is the unique Japanese hand cannoneer, the Otsu, whatever it's called. Then again, also the Black Rider is also heavy, but it's also cavalry. Got this archer emplacement causing issues. This bit of walls from this loop are going down, and Blue's going to be repairing the walls now. The gate's in front of trees, so if that's a good or bad idea. Got a cannon placement here. Horseman will deal with it. Yellow's being a little bit idle. Yellow has consumed his gold reserve, and it's now has a massive food reserve. Also, he's transitioned to a bunch of trade caravans. Has still 5,700 gold here. Has 10 horsemen queued on up. We got 2 horsemen queued on up, and not a pop cap as well. I'm assuming we have the upgrade for getting the merchant guilds now. Grenadiers over here has split up some mills around. I always wonder if people can sort of organize this better. Imagine putting the granaries in a bit more of like a horseshoe pattern around the Pure Academy to increase the gold what's the term? Generation, and then also have a nearby gold drop-off point for the taxes. I wonder if anybody would ever experiment around that. I wonder how much would that provide as well. Because imagine if you take the Hero Academy, put around here, and then like a 2 farm gap, you put granary, then 2 farm gap over this granary, and 2 farm gap over this way granary. I wonder how much gold generation that can give you. You basically probably have to put all your pure officials on collecting up taxes. And that could be a good way to generate gold in the long run, rather than sort of just leaving it to be uncollected, like all bureaucracy. Or be wasteful of it, like all other bureaucracies with taxes. Either way, we do have, of course, a keep on the fire. No more gold left here, but still useful for protecting the sacred site. Blue right now has 1 sacred site. Yellow has 1. The last one remains despicably neutral. Horsemen charge away forward to find some horsemen and spearmen. And cannoneers firing away. Bombards takes out the keep there. Bombards are going to be crawling away. Horsemen charge away onto the hand cannoneers, but looks like they're trying to go straight for the bombards, so they got knocked around by the hand cannoneers. Extreme Horsemen trying to be summoned for reinforcements. Blues Hand Candidates get on the high ground here. Gives them also +1 range to work with. Horsemen engaging the ranged forces there. Blues has a pretty good core of hand cannoneers. Blue right now has 11,000 food and 8,000 gold, a massive resource stockpile. Left flank just villagers engaging horsemen. Got a Maginot deploying the field. Does not have the adjustable cross beams, or it's called. The army tactics and elite palace guards now being researched by the Chinese player. There's the adjustable crossbars. Horsemen push way forward. Bombard's backing on off. Archers sort of just being charged forward. Bombard is trying to counter barrage the cannon. Horsemen now trying to engage all of these range units. Oh, left side, just horsemen torching down various stuff. French player has plenty of food and some gold to work with. Chinese player still has plenty of resources to work with. Queued up a good number of hand cannons, handful of battery rams. Queued up 27 elite palace guard. Battle hardened is now being researched as well. We're going for a large number of horsemen as well. And, oh, looks like one of these trading depots are on the outside of walls. And so now it's going to be hit. Yellow has no proper defense in that region. French player has plenty of food. I wonder how the guild hall is doing. Guild hall still has 8,000 gold inside of it, so he could make a withdrawal with it relatively soon. Once he consumes all of his gold reserves, then he can go for a massive wave of everything, just try to smash through his opponent. Right now, both players are just low in wood. These traders, some of these traders could be tasked in wood if he does need it. Handful of basic palisade walls there. French players going for a large number of horsemen as well as elite arbaletiers. That'll destroy some of these walls there. Palace guard can storm the walls. Not like that would be super useful at the moment. Bombars can start hitting this keep there. They're getting range the arbals in placement. And the red palace is back here. Bombars could be hit by these various forces. Over here, we have now these ground forces intercepting all the traders, but also being intercepted by horsemen and spearmans. Those are pushed right forward. A couple bombars hitting the keep now. Blue's backing off even further south. The keep has gone down. Looks like the French player has withdrawn from the guild hall. Could go ahead and queue up a massive number of knights. The amount of resource stockpile here, he could actually start deleting some villagers. Chinese player has a good mix of resources as well. Horseman push forward, take a bit of damage now. Also trying to raid some villagers. Chinese player has consumed quite a bit of reserve resources, but has a good stockpile still. Arbus placements here being very effective. Chinese player has a good number of hand cannoneers and actually has queued up 31 more hand cannoneers as well as 75 more Palace Guard. So it looks like the blue has a queue going to smash through his opponent. Maybe deleting off a handful of villagers would be good. I think I just saw him go like 119 down to 105, so I think he just delete off a handful of them. A lot of taxes here, but I think I hear some stuff picking some taxes. Spirit Way has not researched ancient techniques, which will give him plus 12% Gath collection rate. More hand cannoneers queuing up, another 35 more. More units just being streamed up north. Palace Guard takes a bit of fire there. Bombard's falling back. Right now, blue has a higher armory value in the field. Both sides have lost a number of villagers or deleted them. Villagers torching down some battering rams. Nice choke point there for the hand cannoneers to use. Horseman finds the high ground, does get him bonus damage there, or plus 25% damage. Yep. Take up a number of these horsemen. 6 spearmans queued on up, veteran spearmans. Up north, we do have just horsemen raiding around. Both players are now down to 90 villagers, which means their army size is getting larger. Blues pushing forward with no horsemen. Arbiters are backline. Hand cannoneers backing on off. While trying to utilize the choke point that's here. These forces engaging. More of the Royal Knights push forward. It's a bit of a choke point here, and this time blue's getting all jumbled up. It looks a little bit nasty for blue, but feels like blue's doing much better. A round of walls have gone down. Now blue has more way to exfiltrate. Good number of hand carriers on the high ground, getting the bonus damage, plus certain gunpowder to make them pretty mobile as well. Bombards engaging the Royal Cannon. More horsemen being streamed on in. Yellow has plenty of resources in reserve. Blue not so much, but has a good queue going. Yellow needs to get more units queued up. That's a bit of a problem right now. Lost more of the wall segments. Not a big problem at the moment. Hard to say this fight where it's going. It feels like it's still pretty even. Both players are sitting around 50,000 army value at the moment. Blue's getting more hand cannoneers being mixed on in. Bombards being picked on off. One Royal Cannon falling back with minimal health. Some of the hand cannoneers on high ground giving them bonus damage and receiving less damage. Blue's backing on off. Trying to fall back to these wall segments here. When hand cannoneers up here wouldn't be half bad. Great gatehouse over here is actually part of the wall cinematically. Horsemen now charging way forward. Blue's now advances hand candy as well. Since Blue's shrunk his reinforcement line, he's able to get his forces grouped up better. Now we've reached the 1 hour mark in the game. Yellow's still shooting some more spearmen. Yellow feels like he's having trouble with his production queue. Needs more. He's queued up more Arbaletiers and Royal Knights, as with some more spearmen. Yellow's having trouble remaxing. Blue's also not maxed out either, but doing better. Looks like Yellow's going to have to let some of these hand cannoneers just fall. But at least they'll get some good work done. Yellow needs to take time, reinforce, regroup over here. Has plenty of resources, but right now having trouble with remaxing out quite severely. Guildhall has 2,000 gold into it with his food reserve. He still has a pretty good queue going. Right now his problem is mass production. Hand cannoneers pushed forward. No Palace Guard mixed on in. Right now the Palace Guard has similar health to rival even that of Guillaume's. French players trying to cut back a number of archers, so maybe some grenadiers can be mixed on in. Not too many, just a handful. Blue has a sniffing on hand cannoneers. Of course, they're very powerful general students there, but they love to shoot anything in front of them. More horsemen and Royal Knights being picked on off there. Yellow's having trouble remaxing at 132 versus 196 on the field. Blue has a nice even 160 hand cannoneers. As army files is approaching 20,000, and Yellow has resigned. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let me pull up my... Here's this. Notepad of games. Next game's not going to be an hour long. Don't think... It's a little bit difficult to find an hour-long game. True, you did call it, but you did call it based on something else, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see now. This one is on Gorge. Yeah, from 9:15. This one? Yep, this one here. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn top or bottom left side as the green English, we have Roger Scruton, I think. Spawn top right side as the yellow Holy Roman Empire, we got Despair Jardy. I wonder if that's anything similar to Kill Jardy. Could be some sort of clan thing? I'm not exactly sure. Don't know all the players, or really any player. When it comes to map generation... Oops, wrong button. Greens, both his gear deposits are pretty close by each other. Gold off to that similar direction as well. He has a large gold, small gold next to a large stone and small stone over here, so this looks like a good expansion location, along with Pumbaa here. But this wouldn't be half bad first spot to start expanding towards too, with all the delicious venison in this region. Small gold up here with a small stone here. Yellow. It feels like map generation is worse for yellow. This gold deposits more up front, so it's easier to raid. Same thing as natural stone, as opposed to off the side here. Got a small gold and large gold up here. Small gold feel like it spawned pretty far forward, with a stone deposit next to it. Deer spawned pretty farther up the hill, while this other spawn safer, but seems pretty far as well. With large stone, small stone. Yeah, I feel like green's map generation is much better. That is Kill Jardy? Got it. I do not know all the Smurfs and all the fun names they like to play with themselves with. Play around with. Blah, can't speak. We do have the Akin Chapel being established here. Not next to the gold deposit, next to the wood. Safer spot. We'll probably not behind for a fast castle with that placement there. Let's see, in green, of course, is going for the Council Hall instead of the Abbey of the Kings. So we're going to see maybe old school longbowman. It is a ×2 archer range. Get basic 300 wood rebate, immediately already constructed. There's so many Smurfs, yep. So many Smurfs and nobody here is in blue. If people just say, "Oh, that's this person's alt," or they just renamed their account on Steam, I just say, "Yep, I'll just accept it as it is," because Steam's very nice. You can change your name as often as you like. Let's see now. We do have professional scholars being researched by the Holy Roman Empire. And like I said before, these deer deposits are pretty close by. Yell did go for a secondary town center, but not towards the delicious venison. Yell's just going for a horseman there. Wait. Nope, he does not have professional scouts there. He's just being a deer murderer. And it looks like a sheep murderer there. Survival techniques now being researched. Does manage to get back on home. And we'll spot the deer here. This one's, of course, easier to obtain if yellow wants to try stealing them. Right now, 4 scouts on the field. Yellow does have a number of hardened spearmen. Where are you going? Way up there. I'm not sure exactly where those spearmen are exactly going. Looks like they're being rallied right there. We do have yellow claim this venison deposit now, as well as this one. You'll be eating quite well. Spearman does find the exotic doggo. More archers here, more horsemen. Going for trash units, not always bad. Both of these civilizations do have access to early man-at-arms, one of the best units in the entire game. But of course, the age of man-at-arms have largely gone away. You don't really see English players or Holy Roman Empire massing man-at-arms as much anymore, at least at the higher level. Spearman here. Lost already some. Oh, okay, yeah. That had been the cancelled and rebuilt town center, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that wasn't always like that. I think they must have been the recent patch, the most recent patch where they added that feature. And just now sort of recently notice it. And 910 now. But then again, some of that was killing some spearmans. But 750 is the cost of a town center, so I'm guessing the English player placed down town center, then cancelled it. Maybe on top of each other, maybe moved slightly. Can't exactly say for sure on top of my head. Right now, the English player only has 6 spearmen, 2 more on the way. Holy Empire has 10 archers, aiming for the Regnese Cathedral. Exotic doggo there. Looks like, for some reason I thought these guys were on patrol move. The yellow's going to start trying to steal some of this venison here. Has 4 scouts remaining. Secondary town center here. Capital ringing its bell as well. Of course, being English, has 2 defensive arrows. Not much, but can be nice. Scout there, taking some fire. Yellow's now agent up. Probably should go for some more prelates to start grabbing the relics. Especially from Regni's Cathedral. Scout riding away. More melee or range armor. Veteran archer research, not big surprise. The English player is still pretty far from aging up. Oh, it is English, so it's pretty easy to get them farms. I think it's been mostly trying to focus on to secure the venison, which does help even out the farming bonuses of the mills, but that's of course like a short-term thing. But now, if he's in Regni's Cathedral, he does have access to prelates and start clicking up those relics. Got the White Tower now being established here. Good defensive placement next to the capital. But some of these villagers aren't going down. Looks like we're going to be losing some villagers here. Archers moving around. A decent number to call, that's for sure. Some of the spearmen started going down. Takes out some of these villagers here. Green has no military on the field and no resource in reserve, so it can be taking some losses trying to complete this White Tower. And Yellow's trying to fall back now. Killed off 8 villagers, was quite nice. Now Green only has a 10 villager advantage. Yellow could stand to get these guys next to a prelate. They're pretty wounded at the moment. Yellow has claimed 2 relics. Going to be eyeing, I think this prelate's heading for this relic. I'm trying to think of more things that rhyme with prelate and relic. Delicate? No. Oh well. Falcon Chapel, of course, allows for a much better collection rate of those deer as well. They must be dropping off to it. Oops. This force still a bit wounded. Got this relic here and here. Every relic he claims will be, of course, ×2, going from 80 to 160 gold. Effectively, roughly increases gold income by 4 villagers. So right now, with 2 relics, you can probably add 8 to this number. So 54 of 60. He's still a bit behind. This prelate may go down. Immediately launch the Wolo. No Wolo there. Howdy. Villagers backing out to the town center into the White Tower. +1 range armor, no +2 range armor just yet. Blacksmith did get interrupted, but not a big issue there. Only 1 spearman there. There's a horseman there. English players now pulling out some knights from the White Tower as well. And Lucy's clicking out more venison. It's going for Palace of Swabia. So going fast age 4. Now, not to mention the Palace of Swabia will allow him to fabricate villagers. You'll be up to 4 villager queues, so help him quickly overcome his opponents too. If every villager takes 20 seconds. That means 10. 10 seconds per villager advantage. So taking about 2 minutes to catch up to his opponent's villager count, roughly. Or no. 20 seconds ×2, so yeah, I can't do this offhand math. Oh, 5 minutes. No. Not 5 minutes. I can't do this offhand math for the moment. Blah. Sorry about that. Effectively, 2 villagers every 20 seconds to catch up. And that'd be 3 villagers per minute. Or at least 6 villagers per minute. About... Nah, 2 minutes doesn't seem correct. I'll say about 3 minutes to catch up, and that's not too far. He has also employed the Palace of Swabia Nexus gold deposit. 4 relics as a Holy Roman Empire. Oh yeah, very nice. Effectively, that is what? 4 relics, which is already 4, so plus 16 there. That effectively already equals out the villager number there, it's let alone. So yeah, yellow's doing just fine in the economy department, at least as right now. You could eye for some fun with Black Riders, but looks like his opponent's going for Horsemen, which will counter Black Riders with bonus damage versus range. Number of Knights here. He could just try. He has plenty of gold, but he's actually running low on food, so he actually needs to just start focusing on food collection, I would say. Town center is going to be, yeah, look, his primary town center is having trouble producing villagers. He does not have enough food income, or I forgot about getting a queue there. His capital is not building villages at the moment, though he can always skimp out. After all, they does build them here for cheaper. Roaring Guard Palace here, so he may be skimping out here just to save some food. But yellow's in a perfectly fine economic situation. Roaring Guard Palace being established, which could give him some very fun units, such as the Roaring Guard Rangers. His opponent right now is going for Archers, Horsemen, and Hand Cannoneers, so Roaring Guard Rangers will be effective versus Archers and versus Hand Cannoneers. Roaring Guard Footmen will be effective as a Horseman, but I think Roaring Guard Rangers, just focus on them, would be a good idea. With the 4 relics, quite possibly, but I might as well Sacred Sites provide 100 gold each, which the English player has 2 of them. So that's effectively 200 gold versus a lot more. Let's see, Holy Empire player has 91,000 gold passive gold income with 6 villagers in total on gold. Of course, the English player does have enclosures. Now the gold income's gonna be much greater. Horsemen and Knights receiving better damage from the Horsemen. Got a number of Hand Cannoneers as well as Archers and all that, so just a mixed bag of everything. Elite Horsemen on the way for the Holy Roman Empire. He's not stoned as well. Remember, as every keep you get, he can get out some more Black Riders. I've been trying to focus on getting longer games, because I think longer games are a bit more interesting to cast. Knights falling back there. Another exotic doggo bite. And Scout barely on top of the point, decapturing it. Scout here as well. We'll find a pair of horsemans. Elite horsemen do have now the Cisternic Abbey, so effectively you can mass reduce Aachen chapels and be a good counterpart to the mills. More expensive mills, maybe a more expensive version of the English mills, plus 30% gash, but would be a bit more effective, plus 30%. Wait, the mills, Cisternic Abbey, is that 20 or it's probably 30% and not 40%. I think that got slightly nerfed, didn't it? By the way, the Cisternic Abbeys can be an equal counterpart to the English farms, at least when it comes to food. Though, of course, the farms will still be normal price, and the monasteries will be more expensive, and you still have to garrison a problem inside. So it's not as great as the English farms, but still a pretty good alternative. Horsemen do get picked off there, not big surprise. Basic walls here. Still says there's deer here, so there may be a downed deer carcass on both of these. Yep. There's a 3 deer remain. Salvage a keep here to keep the secret site neutral, despicably neutral. Got a move order into attack, move order into here. This place overall just eyeing. Looks like he's going for many of the Warnguard cavalry. What's it called again? Warnguard raiders. Give him 3 horsemen, 3 knights for a pretty good discount. It looks like you get 1 free knight. None of it just gets built at 25 seconds, so it's pretty cost-effective deployment of various horsemen and knights. Warnguard army still effectively gives you a free trebuchet, and Rangers is probably the elite unit that's very fun to work with. We do have a cannon placement here, no relic on the inside of it. Not to mention you may want to go for at least some basic rolls here. Losing some villagers, 1 farmsman torch down. Yep, I think Yellow needs to work on some defense over here. At least get the relic gears inside of these, so it's a bit more effective at defense. This villager just pulled out her knife to try and shank that man. He's carrying a bunch of gold, so it's probably the alimony that she's due. Horsemen pursuing the horsemen. Got one, actually a handful of English knights here. The Green's force a bit wounded, and Canyon is firing away. Biology now being researched by the Holy Roman Empire player. Has access to 5 black riders. They're expensive, but very good. Green is falling back there. We do have now these Royal Knights tortured down here. No upgrades here. More of the English Knights rotating back around. He's going for his own biology as well. More Warnguard Raiders being deployed in the field. Right now, Yellow has an army of 12,000 versus an army of 8,000 value. Not mentioning Yellow's army is higher and almost top cap. The English players just being cost effective for the Warnguard Raiders. There's a good number of hand cannoneers here. Let's see, this gold deposit's down to 4,600 gold. This gold deposit's untouched. Up north, this has 4,200. English Knights charge way forward. Managed to start hitting some of these range units now. Green's army does get the full surround there. It looks like Yellow's force will be cleaned on up. Yellow has a much higher destroyed value at the moment. And nice clean sweep there. Got some horsemen down south. Villager can stand and shank them. Hope we got some English knights here. There's a cannon placement nearby. And he is going for a Cisternic Abbey mills, if you will. Looks like these knights do back themselves into a corner. Down south, horsemen there. Final wood chopping upgrade for Yellow, and more melee damage for Yellow as well. You got one relic inside this Regulus Cathedral. Possibly, it's hard to say at this moment in time. They have similar army value in the field. Yellow has been a bit more cost effective. They have very similar villager numbers, which means the big difference is the relics. Six have been decapitated there. So yellow has one sacred site at the moment. Yellow right now is 1,300 gold with 14 villagers on gold. 1,800 versus 28. English player is a bit low in resources. Has a Age of Empires 3 Italian amount. While the Holy Roman Empire player has a good amount of food and wood, so he can maintain good production of horsemen, which he is. And some gold to work with. He's going for some Black Riders. There's a Black Rider there. Offers a pretty good base amount of health. Has a 45 damage attack with a crossbow and attack speed. With 4 tile range. So tile range is a little bit slow, but it does have 4 armor, so he's quite resilient. He's heavy range gunpowder. Plus, he can always just activate this button here and become a much, much better Magadai. He does not get affected by Serpentine Gunpowder if you are ever curious. In some of these fights, he probably just activate the Cavalcade ability if he doesn't know if they're going to be moving or not. But it looks like he has a good backline firing away. Looks like Green's front line is doing a little bit better at the moment, but Yellow's managed to squeeze his way to the bombards. Green's been solely focused on the Warren Guard Raiders for units. And Longbowmen, as well as the Warren Guard Rangers, will not get bonus damage to his Black Riders due to the fact that they are heavy range rather than, and the archers only get bonus damage for his light gunpowder. Over here, Horsemen find some villagers there, starting to pick them off. Green some more horsemen there. Green is taking reinforced back here. He's not a pop cap. Yellow's also not a pop cap, but doing better. Construction beams, cannon placement, military production, and greasy axles. Building a farm up here. That's not a great spot. Yellow could probably lose some civilians at the moment. Or at least be a bit more aggressive. Some villagers try to clean up gold on his opponent's side of the map, but they're all walled in. His gunpowder unit's doing a great job in the back line. Only has 4 Black Riders in the field. Oh, no, it does have 5 Black Riders in the back line using Black Powder. Could go ahead and activate the Cavalcade ability and withdraw off the Black Riders. There we go, got the Cavalcade now. If everything else in his composition just needs to be A moved forward, then he can spend time to mark with the Black Riders. Nope, right now he has 2,900. I think I saw he went for a big queue of horsemen. We got more Warren Guard Riders going for elite spearmen and more elite knights. The Black Riders, of course, are heavy, which means they are vulnerable to crossbowmen. If not horsemen, the Holy Roman Empire is holding on the field, he could actually eye the Warren Guard footmen. They get bonus damage versus cavalry. They have less range armor and more focus on melee armor, which should be largely fine. Hand cannoneers and Black Powder, Black Riders do high damage. The armor is a little less effective when fighting them. He also pop cap, but he only has a handful of these units in the front line. He can now get up to 10 Black Riders. I don't think I've ever seen more than 5 on the field at one point in time, so we may see some additional ones. They're far more population effective than hand cannoneers, having much higher health and higher damage. Of course, they're far more expensive. Actually, 60 more resources more expensive is actually not far more expensive. Definitely worth it. Because after all, they will have twice the amount of health, while having slightly higher DPS and more mobilities, capabilities, and all that sort. So yeah, Black Riders should be more preferable to hand cannoneers at this moment in time, in my opinion. These guys could activate the Cavalcade just to use it while he's falling back. Batarams being summoned and picked off there. Yellow's having trouble remaxing for more horsemen and hand cannoneers. Well, his spearman would be not half bad. I don't even think he has built a barracks this game, has he? He activates a cavalcade there, so they can cover their own retreat a little bit more effectively. With the cavalcade ability as well, they do move faster than knights, or in the fact they have charge. More horsemen intercepting the reinforcements there. Green's reinforcements being spread, or armies being split across everywhere. Black Riders being microed quite nicely. Horsemen just choking up everything. The Black Riders need to push down south. Just generally a move would do. And Green's starting to fall back there. Reinforcements coming in the stream, and they're being intercepted in the stream. So good defense there by the Holy Roman Empire player. He has 10 Black Riders in the field and has a nice mix of resources. English player's Lone Wood and has 2 Vanguard man-at-arms in the field. That may have been a bit of a misclick. Not enough stone for more keeps to get out more Black Riders. Of course, oh, I just said that, and then he just got +5 there. Very nice. So we now get out the 15 Black Riders. I love seeing the Black Riders. They're a very good unit, to say the least. They're just hard to mass scale. But he's not consumed all of his spare food, has some wood to work with, and plenty of gold for now. He has a good mix of everything. And same with on defense. On assault, the cavalcade can be nice to help make it so he doesn't lose any DPS. Has some hand cannons there. Going for some more Black Riders now. Horsemen and knights trying to rotate around. Got some relic equipped outposts here. Some villagers going down. He has a pretty good stockpile of them. Don't think losing some is going to be a big issue. Losing some will, of course, allow him to get a larger force in the field. And cannoneers, Black Riders. Black Rider there will be going down. Going for outpost and cannon. And you can always use emergency repair on the farm if you so choose. Some of these villagers are going down. Has lost some, but that does also mean he can get a larger force in the field. Elite army tactics, sort of strange. Holy Roman Empire is known for infantry, siege engineers, and another cannon placement. Does have a cannon placement here. Prolog does go down. I guess he was empowering the villagers. Green's army is reinforcing, is back here. Got a large number of horsemen and knights still. Going for more Warren Guard Raiders. Has killed a pair of man-at-arms once again. Black Riders firing away with some hand cannoneers. We've got a network of citadels now established. How many Black Riders? Yes, now up to 20 available Black Riders. I've never seen this many Black Riders. This is going to be a very lethal force. And unlike Magadai, they can deal with horsemen and other heavy units. Not only having more speed, but higher base damage to punch through the armor. So have to be careful of horsemen, since they do bonus damage versus all ranges, whether they be mounted, armored, or not. Elite man-at-arms with heavy maces, so the Holy Roman Empire player may be trying to mix, transition to the man-at-arms composition, which the heavy maces will be a good way to counter them. He is getting a little bit low on gold and food. Some wood to work with. It's just a little bit low of all resources. But man on transition is probably a good idea. They're very cost effective, and they should be effective versus both the knights and the horsemen, the English composition. You can also just use the black and micro the black riders while he just A moves for the man at arms. Horsemen trying to find some villagers. Well, there's a lot of them in front of them. I think they did found them. Cavalcade activated, but has lost some of these black riders. And looks like the yellow's having a bit of trouble over here. He has not at pop cap, going for man at arms now. He has some food now, and just kind of queued up a whole bunch of stuff. Yellow's sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yellow or green side has a pretty good reserve of resources. A lot of these black riders are severely wounded, so he's going to lose some valuable units there. He may just want to garrison these black riders inside to keep them safe. Did not fire there. They have a bit of a wind-up time. Probably a unit that many of the professionals have don't really micro all too well, since this is a unit they probably don't mass all too much. Also, it'd be a bit difficult even for them to shoot and scoot against knights, since they have the same base movement speed. So, but he has a nice firing line of them. He's continuing building them, going for more, not really too many more man arms, going for more knights. Spearmen overall would be a good choice as well, which I'm sort of surprised he hasn't gotten for enough more of them. I thought hand cannons were just generally could have been swapped out for a better unit, like spearmen. The Black Club Riders doing some good work now. Nice mixed force coming out of the Holy Room Empire player. More Worm Guard Raiders. Horsemen now being summoned. The English player has some gold to work with, not too much. I don't think he's even gotten even past Vanguard Man at Arms, not even early Man at Arms. Oh, he's approaching 200 now. English player's doing a good job of 200. Cavalcade activated now, going for some drive-bys. Some Amish drive-bys. The clunk, 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 bang, clunk, clunk, clunk. Takes out some more of these Royal Knights. Cavalcade is still active at the moment. Sort of wish there's a progress bar there so we can see how long it takes times out. Some of the Cavalcade is still active, but most of them has subsided there. More spearmen being summoned as well. Greens maintaining maximum population cap, but Holy Room Empire players still having trouble maintaining maximum population. Going for elite spearmans now. More man arms being summoned. He's still pretty low in resource float. Green size is pretty good with resource float, but gold is a lot less. Wood is a bit more. And 200 gold there. That's still probably a good idea if the English player tasks a villager to start collecting that up. Anything more than 2, maybe 3 is the maximum I would say task there. The Holy Room Empire player still has 6 village on gold and still maintaining. Needs to fix that mining camp. Not much gold left there though. Most are relying on the ×4 relics. Yellow has 1 secret site, green has 2. Each player is maintaining good passive gold income, largely thanks to enclosures, so it looks like they're pretty comparable at the moment. English player has over 100 villagers on food. I just realized something. He has 147 villagers. It's a little bit too much. It's probably causing issues of maximum population, army population. But he has pretty good food reserve. Could sell off 5,000. Does have the cavalcade there. Trying to go towards the bombards, but maybe just have him go through drive-by through the villagers. Usually I say it's a good idea for Magadite to rake the farming lines, but you could do the same thing with the Black Riders, though that ability does not last forever. It's probably almost down. So I focus down the bombards one at a time. Does take them out now. Got his man-at-arms and man's clothes on in as well. Empire players at a nice 200. Plenty of stone at the moment, so let's go for another keep. But can you afford 25 Black Riders? Well, I think the back line units, they're pretty easiest to keep alive. He does have about 14,000 destroyed value advantage. Arcade ability does take 60 seconds to recharge. Not a fast recharge, but not necessarily a slow one either. How long it lasts. Now we got the main arms pushing forward. They should be very cost effective in this situation. Thanks to bonus emphasis heavy. I mentioned allows a good front line for the Black Riders. And he needs to start chasing down. Just activate Cavalcade and run away. Some Spearmen finding some hits there on those units. Battery Rams connects with the keep, getting some damage there. More Horsemen and Knights being summoned by the Holy Room Empire player. And has a pretty good queue of man-at-arms as well as Horsemen now queued on up. And handful of Spearmen, more Black Riders. In other words, he has a pretty good force still queued on up, so his resource float is consumed to a certain extent. More Warren Guard Riders. English players having trouble remaxing. Has a good number of Knights in the field. We're throwing some more Spearmen. Hence why the Holy Room Empire man-at-arms can be particularly more effective against the Spearmen, while also being effective versus Horsemen by far. More Horsemen and Knights being summoned there. Got more Knights here getting hit. Focused down by the Black Riders. I think I see a lot of overkill though. Yeah, it feels like a lot of overkill from Black Riders. They're making one target really dead. You may want to split those Black Riders into two control groups so they are not overkilling stuff. I think 10 will be enough to overkill. More Horsemen being sent by yellow. Got the Cavalcade now being activated once again. The Cavalcade is actually a pretty good technique so he doesn't overkill stuff. More Spearmen and man-at-arms being sent by the Holy Empire player. He doesn't have too much gold, so the man-at-arms is definitely a good call. And Spearmen is definitely a good call. Regular Horsemen as well. But he has no regular Horsemen queued on up. Regular Battery Rams is also quite nice. Going from big round Horsemen now. And a Hand Cannoneer. I say skimp on the Hand Cannoneers. Focus on other assets. Both the man-at-arms and the Black Riders will be far more cost-effective for the gold. English player right now is designed for more Spearmen, more Horsemen, more Knights. No, he's actually out of a gold reserve and his wood reserve. He needs to sell off, probably just sell off 10,000 food. He just sold off about 5,000 food there. Very good. Goes for triple Worm Guard Raiders. Right now, I think the Worm Guard armies doesn't need a trebuchet at the moment. Though a couple of trebuchets could be nice. The Worm Guard footmen may be a little bit too slow. 34 seconds with 6. Yeah, it's probably a little bit too slow. Black Riders in the thick of it. More batteries pushing along the flank. Horsemen intercepting though. Destroying farms. Got more bombard targets being established now. More of these knights being summoned, more spearmen as well. Black Rider's still doing a good job of just not dying. He's now have about 30,000 destroyed valor, so Yellow's getting more and more value advantage. Just stuff over here. Secret Sight and Center decaptured. And those Ancient players completely out of wood. 20 villagers on wood, so I'm not sure where those 20 villagers are at. This may be the part where the English player does resign. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back, and no, I'm gonna grab a drink from nearby. One moment. And my apologies, now I'm actually back. Let's see now. Just did this one. And on to, let's see, we'll do this one next. What I'm looking for is for a 9/14 archipelago. Here we go. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the north side as the blue House of Lancaster, we got Liquid Demu. Spawn on the left side as the pink Order of the Dragon, we got L. Louis MT. We got a naval map. And what's weird, these guys spawn pretty close by each other. That may be normal for this map, but I don't think they usually spawn this close. Usually it's at least around here. But either way, we do have the dock here. Unique technology for the Order of the Dragon as well as Holy Roman Empire. It gives you a bit of health for general combat, which is okay, not great. Basically chivalry at sea. And versus Admiralty, which gives increased range combat for ships by +1, which is the same as the English. One of the few things that House of Lancaster and English actually shares. This unique technology. The only other things they really get shared with is the extra defensive arrow of the town center and the short bows for the villagers. I should turn this over there. And it looks like on this version of the map, looks like Pink's all of his gold spawn behind him. Can't say it's a good or bad thing. Could be locked down with maybe outpost or two. Large stone deposit here. Pumbaa's a little bit exposed. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you can drop off the pork at the sea dock. Blue, of course, doesn't have backside, so he can have a nice safe economy back here if needed. Pumbaa and Deer spawned over here, but generally on naval maps I never really go for the resources on land unless it's like, I'm going to task my villagers there because I actually need food at the moment. Stone deposits are very safe, but the gold deposits are a little up front, so a little bit exposed. House Lancaster is going for the Castle Lancaster Oh, Abbey Kings. Okay. Wait. This, maybe it's doing this for Medic Aura. I was thinking Castle Lancaster seems like a good default option for extra defense arrows. But this may be needed for the health regen aura to quickly restore stuff. And this is 6 HP that are out of combat. Aachen Chapel employed in the field? That could be very... Yeah, that Aachen Chapel can be very nice. Mineral Palace can be also nice to get the early +1 range damage, which does affect arrow ships. And that actually makes arrow ships the better ship to mass deploy out in Age 2. Since we're making that +1 range damage does actually make them more cost effective. Stupid question. Why did you go for the Lord of Lancaster? Does the Lord Aura affects naval units? I can understand. Okay, it's for a patrolling unit. Expensive patrolling unit. Airship does find this horseman there. Blue has his own airship on the field. Going for a Spring Gold ship now. Takes out a fishing boat there. 2 airoships by Blue. Very nice. In short, the airship can, of course, get +1 damage from the blacksmith. Increasing damage, of course, by 5, the burst attack. And you'd be surprised how effective that is in DPS even versus Spring Gold ships. It actually does make it more cost effective when fighting Spring Gold ships and Spring Gold ships versus arrow ships. Assuming all the arrows hit. But it's also a much lower micro, and so you can just use a couple Spring Gold ships to absorb shots, and then you also have a guaranteed counter to fire ships at all times. Do now another dock being established here. Right now I'm looking at trade post here. This would be a great one for Blue. Maybe from a dock over here. This one's too close for Blue, though could do it from over here. But that would be a bit exposed. Got a whole line that Pink could interrupt there. This one and this one's probably best for Pink. Pink could simply put a dock right here and trade with this one. Be very safe. This one here would be too exposed and not that great. Not meant to go across land. Managed dropping off a villager over here. And that'd be a great spot for trade, whether it be this one or for this one. This one definitely way too exposed with Pink for trading with. Couple of Spring Gold shots there. Right now Blue has 2 Spring Golds, 2 more on the way, 3 airoships. Pink has 4 Spring Gold ships, 1 airship, so Pink is a little bit vulnerable to fire ships. Couple hits there. And the aspect for Order Dragon Villager is going to be much better. It's going to be very difficult to calculate with the number of fishing boats, but it looks like Pink... Yeah, I'm not going to bother to try to calculate whose economy is better. I'm just going to put it on this tab here, and we're just going to have to guesstimate based on the income per minute. House of Lancaster can always just pull out some manors back here. Nice and safe, guaranteed resources, but it is expensive to transition that when both players... Since naval maps are highly aggressive, you rarely ever see passive naval games. It's always aggressive naval games. And remember as well, Spring Gold's siege weapons are still counter the naval ships. So if you somehow get knocked back into land, get some Spring Golds. Naval arrow slip being established there. Probably a good idea to go for fire stations, but it is an expensive upgrade. Like Chevrolet. But still, ships are rarely are in between live or dead, and whatever health they do generate I don't think will be super great. I don't know, even though it's its base the same as Chivalry, I don't think this upgrade is actually super useful. The English player has gone for Admiralty, which means +1 range is a very powerful upgrade. Just +1 range means your ships are just simply better. In this situation, since Pink cannot get any counterpart upgrade, they're just simply better. Can't get any unique ships like the French, nor can the House of Lancaster, but the House of Lancaster has a unique upgrade, right? In the King's College. As much as I joke about, oh, you can get that research on insert land map here. What does it do again? It could actually be useful. Improves... I cannot remember. Normal fishing boats. Both players have similar civilian counts. And comes to income for 2,900, 650. Combine those two, 1,100. Let's just call this 2,100 income to 1350. So 1650. Yeah, it feels like Order of Dragon's income's far better thanks to Aachen Chapel, likely. Also, Lancaster does have less spring-gold ships. One of the King's Kuleg now, so Timmy can go to college. Let's see, Paul could have put the King's College back here to help prevent Annihilation Victory, but then again, if you're at a point where you have to be concerned about Annihilation Victory, you probably have already lost. Get some shots there on that ship. Regni's Cathedral. You know, I have no idea. That's probably the better landmark for Lord of the Dragon. Volgraf Palace gives you a cheap, fast-producing barracks. So Regni's Cathedral, if you can double your income from a single relic, and I don't know if players are actually going to take time to get relics on the middle of the map. That's a little bit more difficult. You probably have to get one transport, pick all of them up at once, and hopefully you can get them back home. Super question, in Age of Empires 4, if a ship carrying a monk with a relic goes down, does a relic reappear somewhere at the edge of an island, or does it just disappear? I have no idea. We do not have the armored hull, and of course both players aged on up. King's College, what was this upgrade again? Invest into bigger and better hulls. Increase Karak damage, which is the warship, by 20, damage by 20%, health by 15%, and range by 10%. Got it. Requires the age 4, of course. Any of these other upgrades? Wait, in military tactics training, increases the troops' effectiveness in battle by improve the bonus damage by 20%. Does that apply to ships? If it does, that's actually a very powerful upgrade for naval. Better than probably the Ship of the Crown. So yeah. Not to mention, it does also reduce all the costs of research by 15%, though the White Tower would still provide a nice defensive emplacement. And it looks like Pink started to expand the fishing economy. Blue has not really. Going for another dock now. Looks like both sides have armored hull research now. And the Abbey can provide as a medical aura to help rapidly restore the health of ships. Do you know how the incendiary ships can increase range, or incendiaries. I know I keep on calling them fire ships. That's because I played a bit too much Age of Empires 3. And not to mention Age of Empires 2 also has fire ships. Just a very different kind. Yeah. We got the increased archer arrow, extra hammocks, so more people will sleep on board. And that means there's going to be a lot more people getting thrown overboard as ships start getting sunk. Drift nets, more drift nets. Small skirmishes both sides. We do have the health regen out combat, which is appearing to be very effective right now. Oh. Yep, this is going to go a triple relic run. I highly doubt he's going to smash and grab that one. But that will provide a nice steady supply of gold. For the next age, let's see, Wormguard Palace is not going to be super great. Berkshire Palace is probably going to be pretty good if it has a good defensive placement. Let's pick off that one unit there, very nice. And for Order of the Dragons, Palace of Swab is probably not going to be good, so Elsbach Palace is probably going to be the better option. And you can put that next to some naval docks of arrow slips and then put other defensive outposts nearby, something ranged ships. Something maybe with relics and cannons. Yeah, I can see that being pretty nice. A keep with relic, cannon placement wouldn't be half bad as well. But remember as well, there's actually not too much stone here. 2,400 can be consumed pretty quickly. Though he does have a nice little safe stone deposit back here in the corner, at the edge of the earth. Some good damage there. Got some fire ships being put up both sides. Pretty much all the Age 3 upgrades are there. Fire ship getting hit as well. Takes out a number of the fire ships there, very nice. I'm just going to be assuming that Blue has all the naval upgrades as well. Oh, flanking fire ships I did not see. Excellent work there. Got massive hits there. Just called a good chunk of those forces. He's actually built some construction in the center island as well, which also some valuable gold there. But yeah, we do have a couple docks here, both upgraded relics. Definitely should probably get those naval arrow slits there. And one villager there. Maybe sneak some extra villagers for the Elsbach Palace here could be quite nice. That can also secure a route, flanking route to keep that this trade post alive, and then put some trading docks over here for some really good trade. At least getting the relics right there is nice. Maybe that's to bring Taxon back home. It's hard to say, honestly. But this will help lock down this side of the map. Picking up relic number... Wait. He only picked up one relic, or one. He only brought one monk with him, so he's doing this just to drop off relics, not at home, it's at other structures. Okay, now I'm understanding what Pink was doing. Very nice. Scout is scouting around. The sacred site's over here. There's actually a lot of foliage preventing entry. Only real entry points right there, so that could be walled in by some stone walls. Yeah, if Pink were to scout out this area, put the monk here, put some stone walls there, and boom, that thing is secure. Blue have to bring actual siege weapon, land siege weapons to break it out. Of course, Pink has to scout out the island, which is actually a little bit easier said than done. Since if we were to switch over to Pink and turn on Fog of War, this is what he sees. He's starting to discover the inlet there of the trees, so like I said, this could be locked in with some stone walls. He has a village on the island as well. He also don't see much up here. He does see a single trading post. Has not seen the corner of the earth with that stone deposit and some shorelines there. And for the other player, he is working with no information, is he? But he is working for Berkshire Palace being established now. And Elsbach Palace is now being deployed in the field. Berkshire Palace will be a great defensive position on this peninsula. And of course, with that, Sacred Site has been revealed to blue. And looks like airships going to be scouting that area. Does not know about the infrastructures right around there. But he does see a massive naval force advancing. Fire ship does connect with some of those ships there. And we've got the Berkshire Palace. He needs to get some villagers gears side to it. 20 of them would help him win this fight. It does do bonus damage versus ships. Various pink upgrades here, and pink is starting to fall back now. The Berkshire Palace causing a bit too much issues. Even with warships, it's going to be hard to break through the Berkshire Palace. Elsbach Palace put on the peninsula as well, which does offer a bit more health. There is a naval arrow slit here, so it does offer a bit more protection. Capture the Sacred Site there. Monk head down south. Pink has the upper hand when it comes to feudal control. Do now the ship the crown there. So blue may be designed for warship transition. Has got them some free. Actually, with these 3 Earl's Guard, throw them inside the Berkshire Palace. Doubles arrow output. Not like they're going to be doing much else. You have the swivel mount cannon there, offering 7 range. Got the swivel mounts here as well. I wonder. He's not researched this, so maybe it doesn't affect naval ships. I want to say yes based on the description. It says military units. Or just says troops. But may not affect ships. For balanced reasons, this probably shouldn't affect ships. Since not many civilizations actually have many naval upgrades. And Ship of Crown is already a pretty powerful upgrade, and the Atom T as well. Remember as well that swivel mounted cannon does allow for fireball movement as well, and does have a full 360 angle. Blue's ships looks like having a bit of trouble here. Airships backing on off. He gets all military size 117. We got multiple Carracks now being one field, some warships. And these swivel mounted cannons do offer max +1 range from the Admiralty as well, so he does have excellent micro potential, but the DPS is not that great. 17 damage, not that great compared to the ballista. Though it does have a much higher attack speed, of course. You can see there's the cannon shot. I do wonder, does Lord of Lancaster's aura apply when they're inside of a transport? Be a bit difficult, but it could be a great way to multiply the health of his naval fleet. There's some Carracks there. Offering 11 range for now. And right now, the Elsbach Palace only has 8 range. He needs to get perhaps... You can get a relic inside of it, right? You can use emergency repairs on it, so probably should do that. Pink's fleet's falling back. Emergency repairs. Pink does have a secret side victory in 10 minutes. This area, of course, can be walled on in, and this area could also be walled in as well. He's gone for a number of docks. Stone walls would be particularly effective, like I said, because simply put, you need to get some siege weapons. And blue may not have siege engineers readily researched. Quickly pull out some battering rams. These Carracks, however, pose a massive threat with the increased health, range, and damage. I don't remember the arrow charge ships ever having incendiary arrows effect for that upgrade. Must be something that was added in one of the balance patches, and I rarely ever cast naval maps. It would make sense. It would have the incendiary arrow effect if they were launching incendiary arrows. Just that wasn't always the case in game. A lot of these ships are taking quite a bit of damage there, trying to fall back to the harbors for a bit of health regen there. Got some Carracks of his own, but they only have 9 range as opposed to 11, which is very, very different. Yeah, House of Lancaster's Carracks are going to be very difficult to deal with. Fire ships are probably your best call since they do bonus aim versus broadside. Looks like Blue's fleet's being picked on off by Pink's fleet. We got 7 Carracks versus 8 Carracks. Demolition ship push way forward. Fire ship. Get some good hits there. I remember beforehand, the Springall ships did offer more DPS than warships when fighting each other. But I don't know with the ship of Crown if he can go for that. I think just going for his own warships. To pull back these wounded ones and pull them back to dock and heal them up, try to be cost effective. Notice these fire ships largely getting one-shotted by these Carracks. They probably just get 2-shotted. After all, it says 6, but it's actually 3 times 3, 3 on each side. And going for a bit of stone here. And Pink is planting some stone walls there. I don't know. It actually looks like that one is necessary. We'll try and close those secret sites there. And closing those could give him a victory, but all of his landmarks are over on this side, so annihilation victory can be assumed, or a possibility.
Make a list of us.
See, this is Blue's vision right now. He knows where the secret sites are. Focusing this one would make sense, but he's just now scouting out the island there. We got villagers, King and Lords of Lancaster and his Earl's Guard. Nice force there. I don't think Pink never built the stone walls there. Granted, the villagers here would be able to chop it up, no problem. So it looks like the idea of walling in would not be that great. Wait. Okay, Blue's put the scaffolding on top of where Pink's scaffolding perfectly, and I got confused really bad. Sorry, I'm going a little bit crazy about that. Pink has started to roll this stuff all in. Not perfect just yet. So, the threat of safe side victory is probably going to be no longer existent anymore. Right now, Blue's actually low on food. Has come out wood and gold, a small reserve at least. Order the Dragon player has a good mix of all the resources. They just have fire ships being queued on up and bunch of warships in the field. Looks like Pink does have more wars from field, but looks like getting picked off one at a time. Pink still has some villages here, so he could build some production over here and start clearing out the sacred site and build another monastery there. Pink's fleet's starting to fall back. The longer the game goes on, the more I think the Lord House of Lancaster will be in a better position. He so far built 0 manners this game. He could probably start eyeing that and start getting that gold collection, gold income upgrade. Pink does have gold in the center of the map, but not actively collecting this one. Monastery here. To pick up those downed relics. This dock has a relic there. That is a transport ship, which could grab the relics and run. Maybe down south. Let's see. Last of this wood is being cleaned on up. Nope, there's some more wood over here. How's Blue's wood? Some wood still left on the island. Which also would give a suggestion. Manors do generate wood, so maybe going for some manors for all the resources. House of Lancaster has a perfect amount of... has 0 stone left. Ah, for this keep, he bought the stone. 12 warships versus 13. 4 on the way, 2 on the way. Blue's now going to be grabbing that relic. And Blue's landed there. Gonna pick up this relic and probably just run away with this force now on the field. Does spot this relic there, gonna claim it. Takes out a fishing boat there. Some of these warships are starting to get knocked out. Uses immense range. Of course, the docks do have even has equal range to them. The cannon placement has 9.5 range. Probably needs to get a relic inside of it. I'm assuming you can get a relic inside the Elsbach Palace. That dock goes on down. Both sides have pop cap. Pink has a 15 demolition ships in the field. Blue, of course, has some units on ground forces. Tideborn being researched by the House of Lancaster. They have 2 relics. I don't think that's really worth it. Some of these ships are getting hit pretty hard right now. As the docks here for some health regen, which is very nice. Pink's larger navy is what's helping out. Blue has a lot more civilians in the field. The higher population efficiency, the other dragon villages being very nice. Multiple fire ships connecting here. Some arrow ships here not only draws a bit of damage, but also gets some of the incendiary effect. The incendiary effect I don't believe is really that great. These forces starting to engage over here. I just realized there's a tree right there. Not just terrain object. Some of Pink's warships are falling back now. Right now, Pink has an army size of 10,000 versus 10,000. 16 warships versus 11 warships. Definitely this world's filled with warships. Okay, that was a bad pun. And so this gold deposit Pink could claim. Another bench up. Last this gold deposit just got consumed. This one doesn't have too much left either. Of course, right now blue has 3 relics. Pink only has 2, which is 4 relics, so their golden comes very similar there. No manor is being employed by the House of Lancaster, so it doesn't have the manor gold. We've got a group of villagers now being tasked to build a keep and collect the gold there. 17 villagers is a good number. Fire ships getting some damage over time and drawing some fire there. Here comes a fire ship, does knock it out there. Up north, blue's fleet so far getting split up in half. They have similar Karak numbers. Ships heading down south, but since blue's military or navy is split up, it's going to cause some issues for blue. It looks like Pink did lose a good number of ships there. None of these ships are quite wounded, falling back. A lot of chivalry work could be nice, but does give opponents more time to breathe. Blue right now has a higher destroyed value than Pink by 20,000, which is significant right now. Naval arrow slip being researched. Sort of wish they would change its icon a little bit, but put a little anchor right there to incentivize naval arrow slip rather than a regular arrow slip. By the way, 27 villagers collecting this gold, and not to mention there's another gold deposit for him to clean on up. Blue's infested this island, collecting up a lot of wood. Needs more lumber camps mixed around though. Blue right now has a massive stockpile of wood and some gold and food to work with, but not too much. It has another good massive stockpile of wood, but also very low in food and has some gold to work with. Fire ship does get knocked out there. Fire ship push forward. I think I just heard Lord of Lancaster went down. More of these naval ships are moving on here, but getting intercepted by some blue ships there. Blue has these ships there, and Pink's gonna fall back. 8 warships remaining, 3 fire ships. While Blue has 13 Karaks, and Pink has no real counter to them. Oh. Looks like Karak got hit here by some fire ships. And looks like Blue's starting to deploy in some naval trade ships. See, what will Pink need to do to turn this game around? Without fighting against the upgraded Karaks with the crown of the ship over its gold, Spring Gold ships were more cost-effective than Karaks. But I'm not sure with it. See, if the Spring Gold ships did like 38 damage per shot, minus by 7, but we'll just round to a nice even 30. I mentioned that Pinto mount there, which would be reduced down to 10 damage per shot, so 30 damage was roughly like 10 DPS with another 5 in Pinto mount. Whereas the Karaks is 54 times 3 divided by 5. So about 30 DPS? Roughly. Yeah, the sprinkled ships may be a bit more cost effective. I just don't have all the numbers off the top of my head or in front of me. Because right now, the longer the game goes on, the worse off the Order Dragon player will be at. He's trying to raid the flanks here, but what he needs to do is raid this. Though he has established a presence here, now trying to collect this gold. Him stealing this gold actually probably will make him perhaps win the game. Denying that gold to his opponent and simply outlast his opponent's economy. One relic difference is not too massive. One secret site or 0 secret site difference does not matter, but blue has gotten some trader ships in the field. Which looks like they do a split 50-50. Do we have any trading ships over here for pink? Doesn't look like it. Probably should eye some. And could have a better trade path as well. 1,700 left there, 5,000 here. So pink will need it. There's going to be a big fight around this gold deposit relatively soon. But right now, Elsbach Palace is getting nailed pretty hard there. Emergency repairs has been consumed. Elsbach Palace being a landmark only consumes wood and repairs, so that's good for pink. Right now, House of Lancaster has 16 military ships in the field. And I'm assuming you can't get the relic inside the Elsbach Palace. If it does, he may be able to defend itself with increased range from the relic, at least for the cannon. There's a lot of stuff hitting him. Right now, the Carax can simply just outrange the ship, the Elsbach Palace itself. Yeah, got ripped apart there. Now the village is going down. And I think it's a point of time where pink may need to throw in the towel. He's having trouble with production. Some idle villagers there. There's 22 Carax on the field. Looks like the blue deleted some civilians. I see no... He's deleted all the villagers on the mainland. Not much wood or any wood left there, so they're not being super useful either way. Could have got some manors out before he deleted them. Probably would have been a good idea to get the manors out. He has plenty of resources for the manors. These villagers do find the keep there. I side went for the final gold technology to increase the gold drop-off. Pink is getting some victories over here, but Blue's fleet is just crushing down south. There's nothing here to stop them. I mentioned he's losing a good number of docks. Idle villagers here, which just meant for wood collection at this point in time. There's some gold here as well. Let's see, pink does need gold and wood. Yeah, I have a feeling pink's gonna be throwing the tower relatively soon. Trebuchet's engaging. They do bonus damage for the ships, but you still want to do sprinkles. They still have the old bonus damage versus ships before their rework. It does cleave through all these ships here, but he already had replacements already in dry dock. Those are not trade ships, these are fishing ships. Those inside the keep, although those do nothing. I think pink just maybe a little bit idle. gonna fast forward a little bit there. I think Pink's just sort of just idle right now. And Pink does resign. As Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that's probably my last replay for tonight. My voice is starting to go out. So everyone, thank you for watching.